Hi, everyone. It's Linda G. coming to you from Santa Rosa, California. It's September 25th, and I am going to answer some of your questions. I want to tell you, first of all, that we have scam people on the comment sections that go underneath and say to you that they're me. Oh, I got this hit on you. Dan and I tried changing my picture, but that doesn't work. They're on you like flies, so you know what. So I just want you to know that ignore anybody that offers you anything from me. I don't approach you. I don't ask you for anything. I'm not doing any more readings unless you want a free reading. So I'm shut down. So do not reply. And they're on Mel's, and I think they're on other people's. Ignore, please ignore. If you can, report. If anybody says, I want you to write me at this email or I want you to call me, fake. It's a shame, because they're coming out like crazy. And Dan, he helps me with my YouTube, and it's just too much. He goes and goes, and it keeps blocking them, and they come back 1,000-fold. He thinks it's some auto-generated thing. So do not answer, do not, just report, and, just report. Report to YouTube. I sat down and wrote YouTube, what's going on, because it's just getting out of control. I'm sure they'll come up with something soon. So I wanted to tell you about that. As you know, I'm leaving for New York for Catskills. Apparently, the Catskills was actually built for the Rat Pack. So that was interesting. So apparently the presidential suite that I'll be staying in is where JFK stayed in. So anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing you all. I imagine it'll be a little chilly, but I just wanted to mention that. I also want you guys, I'm not going to pick the new winners till I get back October 3rd for the free readings, because I'm just so overwhelmed right now. Be easier for me to do it the first week of October. I also want to thank you guys for your emails. As you know, well, my sister went back to school, so she's overwhelmed with details. I'm overwhelmed with details. So you got to be patient with us getting back to you. We definitely answer the prayers and stuff. As far as putting them on the list, apparently a couple of people got missed. So it just gets, it's a lot of people, but we want to be able to tap into everybody else. So just be patient. So, okay, I wanted to tell you that. I wanted to tell you about the fraud. I want to tell you that this video is my own interpretation, what I get from my guides. As you know, some of you know, I went through breast cancer and had sort of a wide awakening. And since then, I have these guides that literally talk in my right ear. And they told me, you're going to start a YouTube video. And I thought they were cray. I said, I'm not going to get up and brush my hair. They said, you'll help calm people down. So that's what I've been doing. This is what I get. Sometimes I can literally hear the answer. Sometimes I feel the answer. You guys have asked a lot of questions, and we will dig into it. But I want to also tell you that this China thing yesterday, I thought that was quite curious, and I thought I'd wait till I'm online before I answered it. Something took place, but I'm not quite sure what it is. And I can only give you my interpretation and for entertainment purposes only. But let's take a look and see if my guides will give me something. Interesting. Somebody just said trouble. Okay. They shut down everything. Flights, even it feels like the internet. But I feel like, just like with Iran and Russia, that people were starting to take to the streets. So maybe they just didn't want anybody to know. They were shutting down the flights either to keep people out or to keep people in. Let's take a look, see. And I'm not feeling anybody really talking about this on the news. I'm not feeling like it's, I think I had MSNBC on today and I didn't hear a word about it. They were cutting out something, or it's almost relaying it to some other realm, some sort of communication. Oh, thank you. So they're telling me that there was some sort of rumor or rumors about taking over the main guy, is his name Lee, taking over, or some sort of coup to take over. And he just stopped it at the pass. So they didn't want information. They didn't want anybody to know. That's what I'm getting. This is the beginning of trouble. So even though they were able to hold it off for a little while, apparently China's really losing money. I don't know that for fact, but energetically, I just heard people are blaming the government for loss of monies or jobs. China's going to end up being, and I think I've told you guys this before, being a really good sort of, they're going to come out of this strict regime type stuff. They're going to be peacemakers. And I always saw Russia being a peacemaker. In the end, Russia will be our friend. I've always seen that. So let's go on to Russia, you guys, because Russia, with all this commotion, although he's trying to nip it in the butt, all these people going to war. You know, I had a flash, and I'll just say it to you, and you guys can decide whether this is true or not, or send me a link if you find out. I literally saw soldiers, Russian soldiers, dropping their weapons and walking towards the Ukrainians and shaking hands. That's what I saw. And then I see a sudden exile. So remember, I predicted this before. All of a sudden, there's nobody. There's like even the Ukraine saying, wait a second, the Russians are gone. So it's this thing that he's doing now isn't going to work. Let me throw on it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this Russia is being very well watched by the guides and by terrestrials, because they're not going to let this Putin, I've told you, I never felt nukes. They're not going to let him. If he starts to try to send one off, something's going to happen. Here's his military. His military. But it's battle after battle. He's running out of money. His magic is gone, and he's just beyond foolish. He's bouncing off the walls. He's not very healthy. Ooh, unfortunately, I don't know if this means someone tries to take him out or if there's just some sort of upset within some big things getting ready to happen in Russia. That I can tell you. But it's for the better. It's not something awful. It's for the better. Russia, the rug is going to get pulled out from underneath them. I just hear my guide saying, peace. We bring peace. We bring peace. And all this stuff is going to go be brushed under the rug, and no more drama. You know, this sounds like a happy reading, and you're probably all saying, geez, Linda, I wish. But let me tell you, didn't I or did I not tell you this before? I told you guys this before. It's been part of what I do. And I'm going to tell you that this too shall pass. I've told you Putin's going down at least by the spring at the latest. I do not see him being able to destroy with nukes. I don't see that. But I do see those Russians that are pushing in to be there now, just kind of like their heart's not into it. They're not doing it. So he's got this one military that was willing to hurt people, and then he's got the new military. It's like, nah, we're just not into it. Wow, you guys sent me a lot of questions. So I got to tell you guys something real quick before we move forward. Apparently, there was a big thing, a big QAnon or something. The pillow guy was supposed to speak. Was it Washington, D.C.? I just saw on the news, it was a nothing burger. Hardly anybody showed up. I don't care how much he talks, 45 talks. I don't care how much he carries on. It's not, this is not working out for him. For you guys thinking that, yeah, they're going to be the standards that believe this, but most people won't. Most people are starting to back away. And then the Republicans can finally say, oh, good. Now, as far Ton asked about Matt Gaetz. Now, listen, someone made a very good point. The DOJ would not announce Matt Gaetz is going to be touched. That's not something they do. So where is this information coming from? Maybe Matt Gaetz has started this rumor. But let's look if Matt Gaetz, I saw a prosecution with Matt Gaetz. It might be because of the insurrection. But let's take a look, see. I do think they think that guy that was supposed to testify against Matt Gaetz is untrustworthy. That I saw. And including the girl. It's not solid enough. I know they want him badly, but I don't think the DOJ announced that, okay? So people say, but I do feel there's a truth to it. But I don't want you guys like, oh, because he is in trouble. Let me show you. Tell me what I can tell everybody. My back went out. Oh my God, you guys. You know how my back goes out? I have that L3, L4. All I got to do is rest and give it a rest. Then it starts, feeling better. But oh my goodness, I have to take my medication, hot and cold. Okay, so they don't want you to worry. Justice is coming, okay? And our wishes will come true. And temperance will see us through. He's kind of a nothing burger kind of energy. I know you guys are saying, but we got to take care of him. There's going to be some trouble, 2 items with January 6th and something with money. I think they might have already found this. Something with money. Okay, so don't worry about Matt Gaetz. And listen, my friend that does the political stuff, remember she told me I got a 90% correct on the last midterm with my picks. She's sending me everybody this next week or so. So we'll be getting my picks out because before you know it, it's going to be November 8th. It's going to be time to vote. And even Michael Moore, which I posted on my YouTube, and I don't like Bill, whatever his name is. I used to watch his show, but he got real pessimistic. And Michael Moore was on a show and he predicted Trump was going to win that time. And people were booing him, but he was right. And I can only handle so much of Michael Moore, but he did say he's never felt more optimistic than he is now. He said, listen, I'm in the streets. I'm in the middle of the United States. I'm hearing people talking and they're not going to vote. They're not going to vote for Republicans, especially because of the Roe versus Wade. Okay, so here we go. So we did that. Yeah, Doreen, I do see mass housing as substandard housing. I see them putting it together, trying to help people get jobs and get themselves going. especially for families. I see bigger houses for families. Will we ever take care of the, you see, a lot of the people that are homeless are psychologically unable to carry for themselves. They just, like, I had an uncle who was a paranoid schizophrenic, and when Reagan decided nobody should be in the hospitals, he got let out and he acted out big time. He finally died at age 62. But yeah, it's they might actually sit down and really do some mental health stuff, because that's part of the problem is the people with, if you're really stuck and you can't get something, you'll take something just so you don't have to be homeless. There's just some people just prefer to be homeless. I remember one time when I worked in the ER, we had what we called revolving doors. These people who were severe alcoholics, and they would have these grand mal seizures. And we would banana bag them and put all kinds of stuff to get them to calm down. And then you'd let them out the next day. And this one guy I'll never forget. And we were trying to give him clean clothes because he had crapped his pants and stuff. And he didn't want the clean clothes. He wanted his dirty clothes. And it stunk. So we gave him his dirty clothes because that's what he wanted. And I said to him, "What happened to you? Why? Why are you being like this?" And he wouldn't even give me eye contact. And then all of a sudden he just looked up and he said, "My wife left me." So I guess he was so devastated. We had a doctor in my ER, smart, everything, alcoholic, just ended up being a vegetable. So it was really sad. Alcoholism, severe alcoholism. So yes, eventually we'll be able to take care of the homeless. It could be several years away. But I see it's also monies is put into it. Monies is put into it to assist, because nobody wants the homeless in their neighborhood. So guess what? Everybody has to put in to help give these people some place to hit a roof over their head. Okay. SA said Glenn Kushner said that DeSantis can be charged with kidnapping under federal law. Will he be charged by the DOJ? I'm going to use my pendulum on that. Will DeSatan be charged by the DOJ for kidnapping? It's saying no. It's not kidnapping. It's not going to be kidnapping. What I do feel is that they fraudulently had them join up with this thing they were offering them. In fact, most of the people that jumped on this are going to have a better life thanks to him. He didn't mean for it to work out that way, but they're going to have a better life. But it's some sort of fraud or transferring people under it, because he lied. He said, "Oh, we have this, that lady went in and told them all this." He might even try to throw her under the bus and not take responsibility. So Charlie Crist is ahead of DeSatan right now. I'll get more into that when I get my list. Oh, that's interesting. Jacqueline asked, and I need to ask Sterling this. Jacqueline, ask again when we ask for questions on Sterling's. I'll be back with Sterling on October 9th. He's good with these kind of questions. Will there ever be a special food additive or medical advancements to help dogs live longer? Dogs get like cancer and it comes really fast. It's because I don't know what's on, but it's like manifest. Will they ever? It says yes. It does say yes. I definitely see it. I see it happening. It's going to cost a lot of money at first, so maybe only certain people with money can afford it, but I eventually see them being able to help dogs live longer. Oh yeah, Judith. Judith said, how likely is it that UN will change the veto rules? considering Russia and China are becoming territorially aggressive. Russia and China will be out of the picture soon. Russia and China is getting ready to turn over a new leaf within the next, maybe China 2 years, but coming up soon for Russia. I see them taking a whole new motion. I see them working very well with the UN. Something's wrong with that guy, or the guy from China. Something's wrong. Something's going on, and he knows he's in trouble. I just feel like people are just holding everybody down, watching everybody like a hawk. That is going to change. Okay. I'm warning about your guide say about long COVID. Will there be some kind of understanding as to why millions are suffering? Will there be medical help? Long-term COVID. I've talked to some people with that. Thanks, Diane. Will there be some sort of medical help? I see them studying it quite extensively. Absolutely, yes. There will be some sort of help. There will be some sort of help. That's another question for Sterling. That's another question for Sterling. He's very good at, what type of things they'll do. But I see scientifically, it might not be for a year or so, but I see them being able to do. Is there a possibility for a major earthquake in the Midwest? I'm not feeling it right now. No, I just heard no. There will be, but not now. Some quakes, but not major. I also want to send my prayers to everybody in Florida. Let's do my link and see what I see. In a half hour, they're going to announce what changes have happened. Ian. Is Ian going to hit Florida? Is it going to go straight up? Tell me about Florida and Hurricane Ian, which means John. It's going to get strong, you guys. It's definitely going to strengthen. It's definitely going to cause some damage. Is it going to hit? Yeah. Plenty of notice, though. People being able to get out from underneath. And a little bit of good luck here. So it is as prophesied, but it's almost as, I see Biden coming right in and helping everybody out. I see, look at that. That's President Biden coming in with the cash, helping the people out. Ooh, maybe this is the reason Satan loses. So I do see some stuff coming up, and I do see some, okay, tell me where it's going. Okay, so it's going up through, is it passing Cuba or something? It's going into the Gulf of Mexico. I think I talked about this before. I saw a couple of hurricanes hitting the Gulf of Mexico. Is it going to hit? What's the trajectory? Where's it going to go? I'm not seeing the far south. I'm seeing more up the middle, even as far as north as Bradenton. It's going to cause some damage. And I see it pretty strong going through. It's not just the hurricane itself, it's the after effects of the flooding and everything. Even Disney World's going to close. But I see a lot of help coming in right after. And what's the other state right next to Florida? What is that? I see it being hit there too. It's not, the trajectory isn't going to go to the another way. But I feel like 4 or 3. So, it's still going to cause damage, but it's not like going to be a 5. Okay. That big one that happened that hit Louisiana? I was at home and I watched that channel and I knew it was going to be Armageddon. I felt it Then when it hit at a 5, but it was at nighttime. And I always get a kick looking looking at the people on the Weather Channel falling. I'm like, I don't know why they do that. They risk their lives, you know. But anyway, so I was watching it, and I knew it was bad. And that next morning, you couldn't see nothing. That next morning, a helicopter went down the shoreline, and all those homes were gone. It was something else. But you know, I really feel people are listening and packing up and getting the hell out of Dodge. As soon as you guys know where the trajectory says it's going, believe them. Because I feel like when they know, once it passes a certain area and it starts to turn in, I know they do that spaghetti thing. But I got a feeling that according to my cards, you're going to get notice. It's not a surprise. You know, lock it up and get the hell out. Just go north or something. Okay. Ruthie asked, will 45 be successful at holding the top secret docs that he still has as a bartering chip for a lesser sentence? No bartering. No, no. He's in big trouble. Just imagine that big, huge thing gathering and nobody showed. They said it was a nothing burger. Yeah, there's a lot of cast the first stone is saying there's a lot of volcano activity, and I still see more, but I'm not seeing anything that Pompeo type, you know, I'm not seeing Pompeii type thing. I'm not seeing cities ruined. I'm seeing plenty of notice if lava run is to happen. There will be some big volcano, but it's not this year. Okay. Aw. Ray says, she says, my empathetic instincts trigger every time I see Barron Trump. I can't help but worry about him with all the trauma and craziness. Would you please do a reading on him? He's going to be okay. He's still young. I see Melania, if she doesn't divorce, 45, she's heading out to Dodge because I see her living away with her son and trying to give him a life without the Donald. That's what I see. And down the road, he'll be kind of, him and his mom are really close. At least he has that. And he doesn't have to choose his dad or his mom. He already wants his mom. He loves his mom. And I think his grandparents too. Does 45 have angels, guides, or demons? Sonny said this. Sonny, if you listen to me on Andre has been pretty down to the wire as far as Trump always got away with everything. He always thought he was king for a day, and he never got hit. And he showed astrologically why that was true. He ripped off everybody. He wouldn't pay contractors. It was so sad. And one time somebody said, I think I even said on Twitter, oh, he's like a mobster for crying. And the mob wrote me, some guy who says, hey, yeah, well, don't call him mob because he's nothing like us. We don't relate to him. He's worse than the mob. So anyway, then I also said something about demon, and the devil one showed up and said, don't call him, he's worse than us. But anyway, he's a great, what do you call it? He's someone that has created, even though you guys want to be so upset, and I understand, he has literally changed this United States of America down to the fiber. It's always been going on, but it's even more there, and we will win. Justice will win. America will win. I don't want you to worry. It was close, and you all see how close it got. But let me tell you something. I watched that Ken Burns special on the Holocaust in America, and I don't blame people who couldn't watch it because it was pretty heavy duty. But the United States of America, even with Roosevelt in office, was not very kind to the Jews or anyone else coming into this country. They cut down, the guy was a white supremacist that was in charge of migration. And he always said no to anybody that was Jewish, anybody if it's different. He took the white, the Northerners, but he wouldn't take anybody else. Chinese couldn't even own land or do anything. The United States of America has always shown some ugliness, okay? That we take your poor and all that on the liberty thing is not what we were. Because you guys took our Native Americans and ruined them. My dad's side did, not my mom, because she was Native. But anyway, I just want to tell you, we can't lay in that. We can't cry about it. We can't go on and say, because it's true though. We were not very good people, but it was worse back then. Trump just talks what the white supremacists like to hear, but there's not enough of them. It was worse back when Eisenhower. There was tons of that kind of energy going on. All men telling women what to do. It was really bad. But now, because I know in 1971 a woman couldn't even have a credit card. And I know that women had to wear a skirt and couldn't wear open shoes. And this is for me when I went to high school. So I just want you to know things are changing. And it's changing for the better. Please, if there's anything I can tell you, know this. This too shall pass. And that the Donald's is got just desserts coming. But we can't be gleeful about it. We can't be happy, although I do see when he finally I do see him being indicted. And I can imagine, just like I told you with when he loses in 2020, I do feel like dancing in the streets, but it's a whole new beginning. It's a whole new beginning coming up, and it's a good beginning. So, we've gone through a lot. As a nation, we've gone through a lot, but our eyes are opening. There's so many good people I read who family, even our Trumpsters, that are kind of waking up, not necessarily jumping on that bandwagon anymore. So it's very good. And I know you guys are worried about, what happens if they change the ballots and all that. That's all going to be taken care of. In fact, I see the DOJ just boom, 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 coming in after certain people. And all those people that did tried to do the fake thing with Congress. I can't remember what that was. Yeah, that's all going to be handled. So I just want you to know things are for entertainment purposes only, and this is my opinion, but I just know that things will get better. And I know, like the good old days of Roosevelt, it's coming back, good old days, but more of a connection like we all had back then, but not so anti this and anti that. Okay, so Alexandra wants to know what we can expect from this new prime minister. I haven't looked at her at all. Liz Truss. The UK is kind of tired, and I don't know why I'm saying that. You lost your mom. This is like the main matriarch. Grandmom, mom, whatever. But now you got this new king and everything, and I think he'll mind his P's and Q's. But you're not going to put up with much more, especially after dealing with Boris. So let's see what she brings to the table. UK is being very patient, okay? She's actually going to move and swiftly move on some things that are real positive. But there's a little bit of underhandedness to her. I don't see her lasting long. I see a man taking over. But it's not terrible. It's not like Boris, of what I used to see with Boris, okay? So I just want you to know that everything's going to be okay with Liz. Now, where was I? If my fat finger touched something, I lose everything. Okay, here we go. Um, the children from Ukraine, by the way, when this all ends with Russia, I see the doors of prisons blown wide open. I see all kinds of people coming out. I see family reunification. I see a lot of healing taking place. I see rebuilding taking place. Again, I see a Russia that's way better. And yeah, they're done with the nonsense. Isn't that amazing how many people left? So what I see for the families is the coming together. You know, they didn't get everybody from the children that were separated in Mexico. And I still feel like they might not get everyone. But there's some healing taking place. Definitely protection for now. Michelle asked, thank you, Michelle. I'll be looking forward to meeting you too. The reality at Winter, will she ever get an apology? Not now. I'm not feeling now because it's like saying, well, it's okay that you stole that, but she did it for a patriotic reason. It will be a few years from now. I'm so sorry, but it's not right now. SS. I remember when you said that Prince Harry and Meghan were going to leave the UK, which they did, and now they reside in California with us. You also mentioned that something was going to happen with Prince Harry's health. Yeah, there's some sort of struggle with his health. He's really in a lot of turmoil. And you know, part of the reason he went to California wasn't just for his wife, it was because, you know, the bodyguard for Princess Diana said that after this boat trip she had with that gentleman she was with that died also, her full intention was to move to California. She loved it. She said in California, the weather was great, the people were nice, no paparazzi chasing her. So part of the reason he was in California is because of his mother. But I'm not seeing him die or anything like that. I see a challenge. I see him being challenged with something. And I think he'll get through it. I see top-notch doctors working with him. Whatever it is he's challenged with, he'll get through. And then I see him writing a book about it. So Michigan gathers signatures to have the right to abortion, and absolutely it will pass, you guys. I just want you to know. You know, I hate to say it, but that whole Dobbs thing, that whole, you know, let's change this abortion rule is the reason that Dems are going to take it come midterms. Okay. Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan will come home. Let's see. Brittany Griner and Paul, are they coming home? They're not talking about it because they can't talk to Putin right now. He's not working. He's not working with them. So no, not right now. When can you tell me if they'll be home in 2023? Yes. Oh, 2023. Well, they'll be home by 2023. Can you tell me if they'll be home by 2022? I'm feeling like December, November, December. Judy wants to know if we'll receive stimulus money before November. Well, California is receiving stimulus money. I guess it depends on the state you're in. If you're in one of them red states, forget about it. Did you hear that Mitt Romney tried to throw something in the wee hours to get rid of Social Security or cut Social Security? I don't know why they got so. Why are they concentrating on that when it's just it's not making people want to vote for them? It's not very nice at all. Let me ask, will they cut Social Security? No. Will the Republicans win in the House? No. Will we have a Democrat president for 2024? Says yes, absolutely. Okay. I thought they made the Mueller report available. I know we're not done with the Mueller report. Will the Mueller report be totally open and ready? Yes, it's not over. I'm telling you what, this whole thing with the money, the one that our gal's doing in New York, that's going to hit Trump full speed ahead. And the IRS coming in, hello, that's how they took down mobsters. And this whole thing with treason, oh my God, you guys, don't worry. Everybody says he always gets away. He's not getting away with it this time. Oh yeah, Jenny Thomas will be testifying before the January 6th. I'm curious what her intentions are. Let's take a look, see. Let's take a look and see it, Jenny Thomas. She just wants to make sure the real president is put in. Jenny, what are you going to say to the January 6th committee? I'm going to save some of these questions for Mel too, when I read with him tomorrow. And I'm doing, yeah, okay, so Jenny Thomas, what are you going to tell to the commission? She's in a corner. She wants to come out of the corner. She's getting a lot of legal advice. They've spun her the way she's going to talk about this. You know how Trump spins? You know, I used to think he was a little off his rocker, but he's actually very smart, like a fox. You know, he knows how to get himself out of situation. Yeah, it's not going to work. She's trying to back out. They're going to come back on her with some sort of petition or something. Something's going to happen that she's in trouble. And that's when her husband takes ill. And I think that's when she'll say, oh, well, my husband, the justice, he's ill and we can't, I have to take care of him. There's something to do with illness. But listen, I got to tell you, right when I was saying that about Thomas, my guide said that, hold on, she's saying something about illness. There's a lot of people because of this January 6th, including Congress people. You think everybody's going to get away with it, but they're not. Jim Jordan, all of them. You think they're going to get away with it, but they're not. It's almost like I see our attorney general with this big pile of stuff, and then it's just subpoena, 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 boom. Their intention is to get rid of these people, even out of their office. Oh my God, I just heard that as clear as day. Oh, you guys are going to remember this. Oh my God, I just see the news, boom, boom, boom. Like something's going to happen where they're looking at them and saying, you were part of the insurrection. If you're part of the insurrection, you just with Abraham Lincoln, you cannot be part of this government. That's what I see. Remember, I saw Republicans jumping ship. I wonder if it's jumping because they're going to be in huge trouble. And the DOJ knows that, you know, they don't tell us everything. Matt Gaetz is probably going to get in trouble for being part of the insurrection. I'm telling you guys, this is going to happen. I can feel it in my bones. Yes, eventually, Rita, the United States will become unified enough for 38 states to vote. That's about 5 years from now. Thank you, Eve. Eve just said, I love your prediction. One question, how are you? I'm doing fine, Eve. A little tired, a little indigestion. My back is better though. Don't even worry about Oz. Oz is not going to win. I don't care what they say. Oz is not going to win. Fetterman's going to win. And Mastriano, he's going to lose too. I'm telling you, Oz is not going to win. I can feel it. They're trying to look behind the scenes to see how they can cheat, but he's going to lose. Sandra, the people that are running to get away from Trump, she asked if their families will be safe. And I see, not Trump, from Putin. I see Putin trying to be vicious and mean, and that's what's going to take him down. Is because people will say, no, 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 enough, enough. You don't start hitting up your own people like that. He hits up his own people all the time. How many people have fallen out of windows so far? Yeah, he's about ready to be taken out. It's so funny because it's like China and Russia almost together. Um, uh, I think Demings is going to win. Let's look, okay? Don't worry, I'm going to do a big paper and I'm going to give all my predictions. Will Val Demings win in Florida? Absolutely, yes. Will the United States start taxing churches? They're going to make a statement. Will the United States start taxing? They're going to make a statement that any church, they're going to reemphasize, especially when another Democrat takes over as president. It could be Biden. I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet. But they're going to say anybody that thinks they can give comment or money to a political place will now be taxed. And the IRS, you know, who was it that the Republicans want to get rid of IRS agents? Oh, this IRS, you don't want to mess with the IRS, trust me. You do not want to mess with the IRS. There's trouble right here in River City. Yeah, don't worry. Roe versus Wade will be codified. It will be codified. And there is a lot of turmoil in this world, and there will be peace. And I see the terrestrials overlooking Ukraine and Russia, and I want you to know Putin is going down. I can't say that enough, and I'm not joking. I'm not trying to wish that. I've seen it. They assured me of it when I saw them attack the Ukraine before it happened. I was so upset. And they said, mark my words, this will be the end of Putin. They've got no friends. Even China is just like, you know, they're not saying we're for Russia 100%. They're saying, I think China's in fiscal trouble. And I don't see, like, they don't have the money for another war. They don't have the money to be handing over. They're just trying to sort themselves out. They can't deal with this nonsense over here. And Iran, oh my God, isn't it beautiful? They're done. Children are laying down their lives. They're done. This is the beginning of the end of this regime that's holding on so tight. So, well, it's 2:50 and I've got to get ready for my members pick a card. I love you all, and I'll be back on with Mel Monday, and we'll continue with the readings. Oh, poor Rudy. Somebody just said. On Friday, Rudy got charged with contempt of court for not appearing hearing for ex-wife. He's charged with non-payment in the area of $225,000. Yeah, poor Rudy. He's going to jail. He has no money either. Bye, you guys. Love